Skakel out of prison for the first time in more than a decade, but his legal trouble isn't over yet.
A family's grief, front and center. For the first time, they face the teen charged with killing their father in a hit-and-run crash.
After brilliant sunshine today, some raindrops moved in our direction. They'll be here for tomorrow morning's commute, plus being cold on the way this weekend.
And finding the best holiday deals around. How to get the best prices for everything on your shopping list.
Live from our studios in Boston, WBZ News at 5 starts right now.
We begin this evening with breaking news. A 14-year-old boy is now charged with killing and raping a math teacher at Danvers High School. The shocking new charges came down just a short time ago. Good evening to you. I'm Jonathan Elias.
I'm Paula Evan. The murder of Colleen Ritzer stunned the community. The accused killer is one of her students. Lauren Lemanchek is joining us now in studio with this new information. Lauren?
Well, Paula, investigators have remained tight-lipped about exactly what happened to the popular high school teacher. But in the indictment, which just came down, we learned Ritzer was raped, robbed, and then murdered. The suspect is 14-year-old Philip Chisholm. He's a soccer player who recently moved to Danvers from Tennessee, and police say he was armed with a box cutter when he robbed Ritzer of her credit cards, iPhone, and underwear. Her body was found behind Danvers High School last month, just hours after she was reported missing. A ruling on her cause of death is still pending. Colleen Ritzer was just 24 years old. She was a beloved math teacher, remembered for her passion for teaching and for helping students. Her family members released a statement a short time ago saying they are devastated and heartbroken by the details surrounding Colleen's death. Lauren Lemanchek, WBZ News.
Well, we have bright skies out there today, but a wet commute is on tap for tomorrow morning.
Yeah, Eric Fisher is here with a look at some changes headed our way. Eric, what are we in for?
Looks like some rainfall. We do need that. Not a huge amount of rain, like less than a quarter of an inch. This is the system we're watching. A few of these drops just starting to reach the ground in western New York. They won't get to our neck of the woods until much later on tonight. The clouds are thickening up. Temperatures will hold in the 30s, which is downright balmy compared to the teens we saw last night. And as we head toward daybreak, chance for a few raindrops and maybe a couple of wet snowflakes that may fall. No accumulation would come in with that. Timing it out for you, we've got the cloudy skies overnight. As we head toward the morning commute, rain showers will be moving their way in, and likely we'll be watching a batch of light to moderate rainfall come through in the morning and into lunchtime. By early afternoon, a lot of this will start to work its way out to sea. And then our attention goes to this big plunge of cold air across the west. It's moving in our directions here by Sunday morning. Details in just a little bit. Jonathan?
There was applause in a Connecticut courtroom today. A judge granting Kennedy cousin Michael Skakel bond. But his release is a painful reminder for the Moxley family.
I wish it hadn't happened. It would have made my life much easier to not have this happen.
Dorothy Moxley is still convinced that Michael Skakel murdered her daughter Martha back in 1975.
An appeals court recently overturned his conviction, saying that he hadn't received a fair trial. Ken McLeod was in the Connecticut courtroom when Skakel learned he could go free.
With his murder conviction set aside and $1.2 million in bail paid, Kennedy cousin Michael Skakel walked from the courthouse this afternoon, but let his lawyer do all the talking.
And hopefully we are at the first step of righting that wrong and making sure that an innocent man now goes free.
Skakel was convicted in 2002 for the 1975 murder of Martha Moxley. They were 15-year-old neighbors in wealthy Greenwich, Connecticut, when she was beaten and stabbed to death in her own yard with a Skakel family golf club.
No DNA evidence, Your Honor. No fingerprints. No trace evidence. No eyewitnesses.
Indeed, a judge recently overturned Skakel's conviction, ruling his trial attorney botched his defense on several fronts, something prosecutors vehemently dispute.
The difficulty with a case that occurred in 1975 is that each time the facts of this case are revisited, they mutate.
But since Skakel is now simply an accused killer, he's eligible for bail, and he got it today, along with orders to wear a GPS bracelet, stay in Connecticut, and check in by phone. The victim's elderly mother, who waited a quarter century for a trial in her daughter's murder, now finds herself waiting again.
I guess we knew that the day would come, and so I wasn't, I wasn't completely destroyed, but I wish it hadn't happened.
The Moxley family is still convinced Skakel killed Martha, but tonight he is free after serving 11 years of a 20-to-life sentence.
Skakel is the nephew of Robert F. Kennedy. Now, over the years, the Kennedy family has not commented extensively on the Moxley murder. We did catch up to Patrick Kennedy, who is a distant relative, and he says, let's not forget about the victim's family in this case.
My thoughts and prayers go out to Martha Moxley's mother, because she's a victim of a murder, just like my family's been victims of murder. So we're all thinking of her, and we want justice for her.
Skakel's cousin, Robert Kennedy Jr., told the Associated Press earlier this week that he felt pure joy at the prospect of his cousin being released.
I have no doubt Mr. Dutra will be here every step of the way, regardless of whether this case is indicted.
It was an emotional outburst in a Wareham courtroom from the family of a man who was killed in a hit and run. The victim's daughters, as you see there, couldn't hide their anger when the defense attorney misspoke and mentioned their father's name instead of his client's. Investigators say back in October, 18-year-old Eric Megna hit and killed Michael Dutra on the Middleborough Road and then drove off. Christina Hager is live in Middleborough tonight. Christina?
Well, Paula, behind me there are flowers on the road to mark that tragedy that happened October 11th. And ever since then, the victims' relatives have had to drive by this spot and wonder what happened. Who killed Michael Dutra? Well, today, a break. He's 18 years old, and prosecutors say Eric Megna went to elaborate lengths to cover up a crime. They say he hit 58-year-old Michael Dutra with his Jeep, killing him. His two daughters clearly distraught as they listen in court, surrounded by a crowd of relatives. And while his attorney argued the $10,000 cash bail is unnecessary, an unfortunate slip-up. He mistakenly called the suspect by the victim's name.
I have no doubt Mr. Dutra will be here every step of the way.
An outburst from Dutra's family.
No, that's wrong.
The judge cleared the court.
That's the fact that this is a courtroom. As we know, my dad won't be here. What he meant to say was that Mr. Megna would be. And that was hard to hear. That was a hard slip to take. And yeah.
All that happened after the prosecutor said Megna found a picture of deer roadkill from a website called Archery Talk and texted it to his mother, telling her he hit a deer near their New Hampshire vacation home. And court documents say when police went to talk to his father, they overheard a man's voice from inside his Medford apartment. Do what the attorney said and keep your mouth shut. Cops are lazy, and the longer it goes by, they will lose interest. Megna and his mother left court, having posted bail with nothing to say. The court documents also show an email exchange between Megna's parents dating back about 3 weeks ago and indicating that even they had their suspicions about their son. We'll show you what his father had to say when we come back at 6 o'clock. In Middleborough, Christina Hager, WBZ News.
Tomorrow, America will pause to mark 50 years since the assassination of President Kennedy. Kennedy's friends and family members, politicians, as well as thousands of tourists will gather for a memorial ceremony in Dallas. In Dallas, curious tourists still come to this place, the place where those deadly shots were fired half a century ago. For this city, tomorrow will be a delicate balancing act of honoring Kennedy's memory without sensationalizing his murder.
The city, in general, was highly embarrassed and ashamed. But what made it even worse, the city was branded unfairly as a city of hate.
Dallas has spent decades trying to shake off the reputation of the city that killed Kennedy, which isn't easy, as that dark day of history is rehashed daily by trolley tours.
We'll look up on this corner right here, up to the 6th floor window.
And by those who don't believe that Lee Harvey Oswald acted alone, conspiracy theorists sell JFK memorabilia and tell their version of what happened every day.
It's an embarrassment for the city, and well, it should be. But, you know, the city didn't kill the president. Somebody else did, and it wasn't Lee Harvey Oswald.
What will not be present tomorrow, those X's that for years have marked the exact spot on Elm Street where the president was shot. The city says it is relaying asphalt to level out the streets and remove any trip hazards. But undeniably, all eyes will be back on this city tomorrow. Generations have passed, but the fascination with what happened here remains. The new JFK monument will be unveiled during tomorrow's ceremony. It is located in the ground on the infamous grassy knoll. And the inscription, the final paragraph of the speech that JFK intended to deliver at the Dallas Trade Mart on November 22nd, 1963. Coming up a bit later in this newscast, why one man who has seen all the evidence in the investigation into Kennedy's assassination says we will never know exactly what happened that day. And coming up tomorrow on WBZ, complete coverage of the special tribute to JFK live from Dallas. It all starts at 1:30 in the afternoon, right here on WBZ.
A portrait of Boston Marathon bombing victim Crystal Campbell is now hanging at the campus of UMass Boston. The 29-year-old's parents were on hand for the unveiling. Campbell attended the school from 2005 to 2007. UMass Boston has also established a scholarship in her name and awarded her a posthumous degree. Campbell was one of 3 people killed at the marathon finish line when the bombs went off. And we have this just in. Ken Gray will be the next mayor of Amesbury. The original tally showed Mayor Thatcher Keezer losing to Gray by 2 votes. So a recount found that Gray actually won by 3 votes. Gray's 2-year term starts in early January.
Boy, the slimmest of margins there. All right, we are getting closer and closer to Sunday night's matchup between the Patriots and the Broncos in Foxborough.
The Pats go to the game 7-3, the Broncos 9-1, so it should be a great matchup for a primetime showdown. Sports director Steve Burton is here, and
cannot wait for this one.
This is going to be
cannot wait for this one. Yeah, Sunday's matchup is going to be huge, but get this, as good as Peyton Manning is, as good as he is 2-9 all-time on the road against New England. 2-9. Patriots know the Broncos are beatable, and they are not intimidated by Peyton Manning. Pats practice for the 2nd straight day today down in Foxborough. Once again, everybody was in attendance except for tight end Michael Umanau-Nui. Patriots defense already depleted by injuries. Will certainly need to be at their best on Sunday night to stop Denver's top-ranked offense. Peyton Manning and company can beat teams in a number of different ways.
Everybody's just going to have to do their job. You can't just shut down one guy. I don't think that'll even come anywhere close to stopping. I think there'll way too many other people that'll kill you.
The main thing is we want to make them work for everything that they get. Make them earn everything. Don't give them freebies. Don't cut guys loose and do things like that. So if we could play good, sound football, try to make it tough on them, that'll definitely help us out.
Meanwhile, old friend Wes Welker, who's recovering from a concussion, was seen on the Denver practice field today, so that ups his chances of playing on Sunday. We'll show you how he looked coming up in sports at 6 o'clock.
He really should sit this game out. Concussions are serious business.
He wants in.
Take a couple of games off.
He wants in like no tomorrow. We'll see.
Right.
All right, Steve, thanks very much. Well, have a look at this picture. Red Sox pitcher Jake Peavy tweeted the photo of his newly purchased duck boat. It's already getting its tires wet. He's writing that the duck boat is getting its first introduction to the falls. Last week, you'll remember a trailer brought the boat that Peavy rode in during the World Series celebration parade down to his home in Alabama. He's already floating that thing around. That's
Looks
awesome.
like it's always belonged there. Well, the report card's in for the Boston public school teachers. Why some argue the results are flawed.
And also ahead, a wanted woman. Now, investigators say she is helping put unsafe drivers on the road.
And a deadly shooting in Framingham leaves family members heartbroken. Tonight, police are searching for a killer.
Closed captioning is brought to you by Blue Cross Blue Shield of Massachusetts. We're dedicated to helping our members live happier, healthier lives.
There are a lot of great reasons to visit the Kia sales event. Because you can test drive an Optima with an available GDI turbo engine, a Sorento with available third-row seating and a power liftgate, or a Forte, which gets an estimated 36 mpg highway. Plus, every Kia comes equipped with one of these. Looks like that test drive can last a lot longer than anticipated. See your local Kia dealer for great deals during the year-end sales event.
Even when you're in aisle 4, you're never far from home. With Xfinity Home, you can arm your security system, adjust your thermostat, and make sure your kids get home safely. All while you stop at the house. Simplify your life with the total home security and control solution. Plus, get 24/7 professional monitoring. Xfinity Triple Play subscribers add Xfinity Home for only $29.95 a month for 2 years. And get free installation and pay no activation fee. Call 1-800-XFINITY today.
It's Toyota's Black 10 Days. Such incredible savings. It has commanded the attention of every other sale and offer out there. 10 days of best ever 0 for 60 plus $500 bonus cash on Prius hybrid liftbacks. You'll get 0 for 60 plus $500 bonus cash on on Sienna, including all-wheel drive models. Toyota's Black 10 Days. It's the King Daddy event of them all. Ends December 2nd. Toyota. Let's go places.
The Paper Store.
Perfection.
Accessorize. Play.
Experience.
Relationships. Sentimental. Timeless. Occasion.
Remember.
Everything you're looking for this holiday season at the Paper Store.
What does it feel like to get a great deal at Happy Honda Days? Like this?
Catch the spirit with a great deal on a 2013 Civic with standard features like Bluetooth and a rear-view camera from KBB.com's best value brand. Right now at your Honda dealer.
A Framingham family's looking for answers, and police are looking for a killer. Investigators say someone shot and killed 21-year-old Juan Lopez last night. As preseason shows us, his family and friends are in shock over their sudden loss.
You know, it's like always there for you, you know what I mean?
For Lourdes Yanares, it's hard to believe her fun-loving cousin Juan is gone.
And it's like he was at the wrong place at the wrong time, you know what I mean? I don't know, it's really hard.
21-year-old Juan Lopez, excited to purchase a black Subaru he worked hard to buy, shot as he sat in the driver's seat.
Where I was talking on my phone with my friend, and I said, oh my God, I heard a shot gun, but I didn't go out.
Juan is said to have been visiting an apartment complex on 2nd Street around 11 o'clock Wednesday night when he was shot at the back of the parking lot. Friends who live here say no one ever had a problem with a Framingham High School grad.
It does baffle me that it happens, because he's a great kid. I don't know, I could see, had a nice car, couldn't see why anyone would want to hurt him.
Surveillance video from a nearby barber shop may hold some clues in the case. Police found a Halloween-style mask near Route 135 within 10 minutes of the shooting. They returned to the crime scene at 5:30 Thursday morning with flashlights, looking for more evidence. The district attorney's office is investigating the murder, calling it an active and fluid case, but they say they do not believe the attack was random. In Framingham, Bree Seasons, WBZ News.
Drive a Kia minivan? Well, there's a new recall that could affect you because the automobile maker now recalling nearly 80,000 Sedona minivans from 2006 to 2012. A suspension part can break, causing you to lose control. Experts say that salt exposure can cause that part to rust. So starting next month, Kia dealers will inspect the parts and replace and or rust-proof them if necessary.
In New Zealand, it's like a video game come to life. Angry birds are attacking postal workers. The workers are now carrying weapons around to fend off these aggressive magpies. Some of them even have spikes on their helmets. The birds are known to attack people during nesting season, but the postal workers say they've been targets for more than a year now. An environmental group says it will only intervene if the birds are attacking other birds. But not humans.
Yeah, goodness, look out for those other birds. I mean, the postal, they just can't get a break. The dogs hate them, the birds hate them. It's like, all we need is bees. Okay? Yeah, no kidding. All right, so it's every day it's just going to be like this, right? We're just now waiting for some moisture and a snowstorm.
We have birds heading
Snowstorm.
south.
All right, so some people are getting on board with this whole snow sort of thing. No snow in the immediate future.
Okay.
Raindrops, though. Take a look at the high temperatures today. It was a little easier to take, wasn't it? We had lighter winds. Good amount of sunshine for most of the daylight hours. 48 for high in Boston. Actually, 48 was about the lucky number all over the map. Worcester were the cooler spots at 43. Now the clouds are thickening up. We had a pretty nice sunset in spots. You do notice a few rain showers working their way into western New York. The air is still really dry at the low levels. A lot of chapped lips walking around town this week. Well, this will take a while for that to actually reach down to the ground, much later tonight. Part of a system that stretches down through the Ohio Valley. This is not a very intense one. We're actually not going to look at any significant rain until at least next week. So lows tonight with the cloud cover, not as hard to take as what we saw last night with the teens. 32 in Worcester, 37 in Boston. Many towns, especially southeast Mass down towards the Buzzards Bay region, will stay above freezing. So as those raindrops move in, it's more rain than anything else, maybe a couple of wet flakes in the highest elevations. For the commute tomorrow, it should be damp. A batch of light rain moving through. Cool temperatures into the 30s. That's going to be a tough morning to get out of bed, no doubt. We head toward midday. Rain still tracking across the area. I think at most we're talking a quarter inch of total rainfall from this event. And as we head past lunchtime into the afternoon, it will all head out to the east, out into the ocean. Cloudy and cool for the evening commute, but no more rain left around, right around 45 degrees. Relatively milder at the end of the day. We're tracking another front that moves through tomorrow night, and that will clear us out by Saturday morning. So we're looking at a pretty good Saturday between systems. Then that big Arctic front we've been talking about, right in here, the snow squalls all around it, that comes through on Saturday night and Sunday, just midwinter cold. We're talking the whole shebang, 20s, wind gusting, wind chill down into the single digits by the time we get towards Sunday night. So the next 3 days, as we plan the weekend, we've got the 40s tomorrow, upper 40s on Saturday, which is right on target for this time of year. A breezy day, but not bad. Sunday, though, a high of 30, many towns stay in the 20s, and there'll be some snow showers around to boot. Good news is, the cold waits just for us, because we've got the tree lighting in Boston. At Faneuil Hall, if you want to come on down, we've got temperatures in the low 30s forecasted, breezy conditions, but it will be dry, it'll be chilly, it'll be just the type of weather will get you in the holiday spirit. We'll talk about next week, travel, Thanksgiving, the potential storm coming up in just a little bit. Jonathan?
All right, Nick, thanks so much. And I'm so happy that it looks as though we're going to have that good weather Saturday night, as you mentioned, for the Faneuil Hall tree lighting extravaganza. Join us as singer Paula Cole and Maestro Keith Lockhart perform. The fun starts at 7:30 right here on WBZ.
Well, it's a report card of sorts for Boston teachers. It was just released by the school district. It's a new evaluation system, and here's what it found. As far as exemplary teachers, 13.5% came back. As for proficient, 79.5%. Need improvement, 5.8% of the teachers, and unsatisfactory, 1.2% of the teachers. As Lisa Hughes shows us, these numbers are proving to be quite controversial.
I don't think the results are valid, and I think they're entirely subjective, not objective, as the department would claim.
That's the first response to the numbers from the president of the Boston Teachers Union, and Richard Stutman is just getting going.
A disturbing and troubling pattern has emerged.
Stutman says the evaluations show a bias.
With a bias against black teachers, against Hispanic teachers, against male teachers.
This report, just released, evaluates 90% of Boston public school teachers and shows that black, Hispanic, and male teachers have high percentages of unsatisfactory results.
The results are absolutely valid.
Ross Wilson is an assistant superintendent and is in charge of the evaluations.
This evaluation system is much more robust and much fairer than any other evaluation system we've had in the past.
Wilson says the results will help teachers improve.
And our job is to make sure they have the supports that they require to grow professionally.
He also says they're investigating why some results looked skewed.
We want to look very closely at that data to determine what's happening with our educators and how we make sure we have a fair and consistent system.
Okay, so what can parents take from the results? Well, that too depends on where you stand. The teachers union says parents should be skeptical. The school system says the evaluations show they're working hard to improve education in Boston, and that if teachers don't improve in a timely way, the system can now act more quickly to remove them. Jonathan, Paul.
Lisa, thank you. The Senate approved the so-called nuclear option, changing Senate rules.
Why today's votes to remove the filibuster has Democrats happy and the GOP outraged.
Plus, honoring our heroes who died fighting for our country, how one artist now is using her talents to keep the memories of fallen soldiers alive. And now here's Jack and Lisa with a look at what's coming up next at 6. Hey, guys.
Well, Jonathan and Paula, across the country, bargain hunters will get their shot at the best deals on Thanksgiving Day.
But not here in Massachusetts, all because of the state's blue laws. New at 6 o'clock, will that ever change, and do shoppers really want it to?
And it's the only solid contender for the Boston area casino license. It's Steve Wynn's Resort in Everett.
Uh-oh, but at 6 o'clock, the man tied to the project with a criminal past, and how he could hurt the deal.
The Philippines has been devastated by Typhoon Haiyan. Thousands have lost their lives, and there's been massive property damage.
The victims urgently need your help.
Visit cbsboston.com for information or to make a donation. CBS Boston cares.
You can't see them, but there are more than 20,000 gas leaks across Massachusetts.
Right now, we're driving through a plume of methane.
It's obviously a danger.
The whole house had imploded.
But that's not the only problem. The utilities are charging you for what's leaking away.
It's almost as if they're selling the gas that is escaping.
And wait till you hear how much it's driving up your bill.
Folks don't realize how prevalent this issue is.
So why aren't the leaks getting fixed? Friday on WBZ News at 11.
Here's your Peabody Essex Museum Arts Update. See what's on display this week. Soak in the tranquility of Impressionists on the water and avant-garde Japanese fashion of future beauty. Only at the Peabody Essex Museum in Salem, where art and culture meet.
The Volkswagen Sign and Drive sales event is back. So it's never been easier to get a new 2014 Tiguan. It has a turbocharged engine and comes with no charge scheduled maintenance. And right now you can drive one home for practically just your signature. Signed and drive. Get zero do-it signing, zero down, zero deposit, and zero first month's payment on any new 2014 Volkswagen. Hurry, this offer ends December 2nd. For details, visit VWDealer.com today.
Okay, I need a better pizza. One made with only real cheese. A pizza my family will love.
Bruschetta Naturally Rising Crust Pizza. Bruschetta, made better to taste better.
This is BMW Gallery at your service. It's where you get the right service and the right repair right on time. Plus, the Gallery Rewards program saves you money on original BMW parts, service, and more. And save big with BMW Value Service and get a great price on oil changes. BMW Gallery is convenient with 2 locations to keep your ultimate driving machine performing at its best. That's sure to keep you smiling. That's the art of exceeding expectations. BMW Gallery, Norwood and Norwell.
Report a claim. Pay your bill. Safety's mobile app is just one more way we help you manage life's storms. For auto, home, and business, ask your independent agent about safety insurance.
Tonight's partnership profile is brought to you by Harvard Pilgrim. Count us in.
Keeping alive the memories of fallen soldiers in a unique way. That is the quiet goal of one local woman, an artist, who uses her talents to help the families left behind.
And now others are joining her to spread the work of Operation Home Ties.
This is Mitchell Daling from Dalton, Mass. He was killed in action in Afghanistan.
And Gina Johnson from Woburn, who works as an office manager but has a calling as a portrait artist, is capturing the 24-year-old U.S. Army specialist on paper. The portrait will be given to his family.
He has a lovely wife, Samantha, and his parents are Kirk and Brenda.
The likeness will also join nearly 200 others on the Operation Home Ties Wall of Remembrance.
I thought if I put a face to every name, then people would look and remember. So that's what I did.
And she's been doing it for nearly 7 years.
I work with the families and will try to bring some joy back from that sadness.
Well, I certainly think it's a source of comfort.
Steve Milley lost his son, Lieutenant Scott Milley, 3 years ago. Scott was also killed in Afghanistan. Gina's portrait proudly hangs in their Sudbury home and was displayed at Scott's funeral.
When someone dies or is killed, you use photos as a reflection and a way to look back because you don't want to lose that person. And photos, drawings, portraits, keep them present.
The goal of Operation Home Ties is to create portraits for the families of all Massachusetts servicemen and women who died after 9/11. Many volunteers are now helping Gina accomplish that by reaching out to families, delivering the artwork, and displaying the Wall of Remembrance.
I view it as a way of celebrating what they gave. You know, they gave it all.
And Steve Milley sometimes looks into his son's eyes.
They say that's the window to the soul. And when you look at this pencil drawing, you can see Scott's soul. I think that's her gift.
Isn't she talented? And Gina plans to create portraits of servicemen and women from Massachusetts who died during the Vietnam War. And there will be some 1,300 more drawings.
She does beautiful work.
Here's the thing, capturing a face is the most difficult thing for a portrait artist to do.
And it means a lot, obviously, to the families. Well, one country growing by the minute.
We're not talking about population. We'll tell you where this new island is forming right now.
And this isn't the airport you're looking for. The flight mishap that ended with pilots landing on the wrong runway.
An RMV fake-out. How scammers are fooling the registry into giving out licenses to drivers that never took the test.
We witness it every day. Neighbors, family, friends, all pitching in to help one another. To see even more true stories of inspiration, dedication, and partnership, visit harvardpilgrim.org/teamwork.
Together we will stand. Every boy, girl, woman, and man. Come on now, people. Come on now, people. Let's work together. Come on, let's work together.
They're setting up shop in town after town, in quiet plazas, on suburban streets.
So they're operating in plain sight, absolutely.
With names like Bodyworks or Reflexology.
They are doing a big business.
But the IT found something else happening inside.
It sickens me.
The alarming secret and a growing problem for local police. Tonight on WBZ News at 11.
Rod Stewart. Live. December 4th at TD Garden. Same night, same ticket. Steve Winwood. Hit after hit from two of the greatest singers of all time. Great seats available now at Ticketmaster.com or by phone. Don't miss Rod Stewart with Steve Winwood. Rod's new album, Time, in stores now. Produced by AEG Live at Arnold Stiefel Entertainment. Tonight's primetime lineup is brought to you by Santander. Introducing Santander, a bank for your ideas. Find out more and get started today at santanderbank.com.
You'll notice the Goya difference even before you taste it. Add plump and tasty Goya low-sodium beans to your favorite recipes and see for yourself. If it's Goya, it has to be good.
It's Toyota's Black 10 Days. Such incredible savings, it has commanded the attention of every other sale and offer out there. 10 days of the lowest ever $179 a month lease on an all-wheel drive Venza. Or get a lowest ever $298 a month lease on an all-new Tundra Double Cab SR5. Toyota's Black 10 Days. It's the King Daddy event of them all. Ends December 2nd. Toyota. Let's go places. Patriots All Access, Friday at 7 on WBZ.
Breaking news at 5:30, the teenager arrested in connection with the Danvers teacher's murder is now charged with raping and killing the woman. Police found Colleen Ritzer's body behind the school last month. The 24-year-old math teacher was beloved in her community.
Kennedy cousin Michael Skakel is a free man tonight. He posted $1.2 million bail and walked out of a Connecticut courtroom. A judge granted him bond after an appeals court overturned his murder conviction.
And state troopers say this woman is helping put potentially unsafe drivers on the road.
Yeah, imposters are taking driving tests for others, and investigators are trying to figure out exactly how widespread this scheme is.
It's happened at least once, and as Michael Rosenfield shows us, state troopers fear there could be more cases.
Police want you to take a good look at this woman. She could be the key to solving an illegal operation involving bogus driver's licenses. Investigators say a clerk at this RMV office in Southbridge got suspicious after the woman completed a driver's test and then took off after being questioned.
And then she ran out of the building, jumped into a car, and fled from the scene.
Police say the woman in the video was taking the test for this woman, who wanted a license but was afraid she couldn't pass the test. Court records show she failed more than half a dozen previous attempts. She and 3 accomplices have been arrested, and they're not revealing the identity of the imposter who took the test for her.
It's always a concern that it's happened more at other places in the state.
Investigators aren't sure how many times the scheme has actually worked. Not only is it illegal, it's also dangerous.
We're going to have a real bad driver on the road, and there may be a crash. They shouldn't be on the road in the first place.
Massachusetts State Police Trooper Richard Fregon says he's not even sure how many times it's been attempted. This woman might have the answers. In Southbridge, Michael Rosenfield, WBZ News.
Some changes headed our way after some nice brilliant sunshine today without much wind. Felt a little bit better outdoors. Now we have the clouds starting to filter in from the west, even a few raindrops over by the Finger Lakes this evening, and eventually we'll start to get some of that rain over into our neck of the woods. 30s as we head outside this evening. Lows in the right around the freezing mark, and this is mainly in the first half of the night. As we head past midnight, temperatures will actually bump up a little bit, and I think as the showers start to move in after 4 a.m., mainly we're talking about rain. There could be a couple of wet snowflakes here and there, but no accumulation. Likely not going to be a big deal. It'll be a damp and cool Friday. We're also looking at the coldest air yet for this weekend. weekend and a potential storm next week. More details in about 15 minutes. Paula?
We'll see you then, Eric. Thanks. Tonight, we get a look inside that Boston-bound JetBlue plane forced to make an emergency landing in Orlando. The emergency slide inflated inside the cabin. Look at that. Now, federal safety investigators are trying to figure out what went wrong. It was yesterday afternoon. Flight 1266 took off from Fort Myers, and 40 minutes into the flight, the slide suddenly deployed, injuring a flight attendant. The pilot turned around and made an emergency landing in Orlando. Take a look at this animation. They say this is what happened. The slide deployed at the front of the plane, filling the entire front part of the cabin. So passengers did arrive at Logan just after 10 o'clock last night. JetBlue did reimburse their flight and gave them free tickets for a future flight as well.
Well, how about this one? A Boeing Dreamliner, big one, jumbo jet, successfully took off from Kansas today after accidentally landing not on the wrong runway, but at the wrong airport. A team of pilots came in from New York to pilot the plane down the runway, which is normally way too short to handle a plane of this size. The pilots took off with full power and full flaps. In fact, witnesses who stood around watching said that the airplane actually didn't even need the entire length of the runway. Those pilots are good. The plane is now at its original destination, which was McConnell Air Force Base, which is 8 miles away. The FAA now trying to figure out what caused this mistake.
The U.S. Senate making waves tonight, changing the rule which requires 60 votes to approve presidential nominees to the courts and cabinet positions. So now a simple majority will confirm those nominees. Senate Majority Leader Harry Reid unleashed the so-called nuclear option, saying that Republicans routinely block the president's picks, and that makes the Senate dysfunctional. Massachusetts Senator Elizabeth Warren agreed something needed to be done.
This is not, reasonable people have a difference of opinion about a particular person or about a particular policy. This is saying this president has no right to nominate anyone to a vacancy on the D.C. Circuit Court of Appeals. That's fundamentally wrong, and I think that shifts things so that we not only have a right to change the filibuster rules, I think we have a responsibility to change the filibuster rules.
This is not a very proud day in the history of the Senate. In order to distract attention away from Obamacare, the Senate has just broken the rules in order to change the rules.
Now, President Obama supported the filibuster as a senator, but spoke about the rule change today, saying that he supports it now because the, quote, unprecedented pattern of obstruction in Congress has left Americans more frustrated with Washington than ever.
Tonight, officials in Japan are keeping an eye on a new addition. About 650 miles south of Tokyo, a chain of volcanic islands seems to be growing. Japan's Coast Guard took this video of the small island emerging under a plume of ash. Officials say it is too early to give the new island a name because sometimes they sink back into the ocean. They do plan to watch it to see what happens next.
Well, it was a huge success, but it's expensive to keep Gotham running. Coming up, who may help pay the tab for San Francisco's Day for Bat Kid?
And putting a whole new spin on Black Friday. Coming up for us, how you can make sure that you get the best deal possible.
Don't just buy a mattress, treat yourself to a good night's sleep.
Get our lowest prices of the season on a luxurious Stearns & Foster mattress. You'll save up to $1,044. Luxury for less from Bernie and Phil's Furniture.
You can make a difference at the Subaru Share the Love event. Buy a brand new Subaru Outback, one of the best-selling all-wheel drive cars in America. Awarded Top Safety Pick Plus by the Insurance Institute for Highway Safety. Share the love and drive home a brand new 2014 Subaru Outback for only $23,795.
What makes a Subaru a Subaru?
Buy a brand new Outback and Subaru will donate $250 to your choice of 5 charities.
In life, it's good to have people you can trust. That's especially true if you're eligible for Medicare and have to choose your Medicare plan. It can be confusing, but it's important. So, who can you trust to explain Medicare and help you make the right decision for you? Harvard Pilgrim. We have over 30 years of Medicare experience, and we offer a great choice of Medicare options, like our Medicare Advantage plan, an all-in-one solution, or our Medicare Supplement plan that protects you by covering the gaps in regular Medicare coverage. We're here to explain the differences, answer questions, and simplify the whole process. so you can trust that you're choosing the best coverage for you. So call Harvard Pilgrim or visit our website for your guide to understanding our Medicare options. With our long history of outstanding customer care, we won't let you down.
Soon, Cambridge Eye Doctors will become VisionWorks, where you'll find the most frames, the best people, and the right prices. We're still the same people you've come to know over the years. And we'll continue to accept all the same insurance plans, including Davis Vision. Plus, you'll find a better frame selection than ever before. It's everything you trust about Cambridge Eye Doctors and more.
It's Toyota's Black 10 Days. Such incredible savings. It has commanded the attention of every other sale and offer out there. 10 days on the lowest ever $179 a month lease on an all-wheel drive Venza. Or get a lowest ever $298 a month lease on an all-new Tundra Double Cab SR5. Toyota's Black 10 Days. It's the King Daddy event of them all. Ends December 2nd. Toyota. Let's go places.
We don't want to sell you a mattress. We want to help you find a better night's sleep. Try the Sealy Posturepedic Hybrid, which combines gel memory foam with a deep-down supportive springs. This week, get an additional $100 factory rebate on any Sealy Posturepedic Hybrid sleep system.
Well, as Black Friday approaches next week, many of us are making shopping lists and checking them twice.
You get your sleeping bag ready, you're going to camp out for a while.
I'm going to get my signs, my umbrella.
Just about everybody is looking, though, for a bargain this holiday season. As Marley Hall shows us, the best deals may be right there in the palm of your hand.
More people than ever are shopping with a smartphone this holiday season. CNET tech expert Bridget Carey says there are plenty of new apps that can save time and money.
It's really giving you the edge.
If you're at the mall, apps like Shopular alert you about deals at nearby stores, and you can redeem your coupon right at the register.
It's like having the circular of every store right there.
Right. Want to make sure you're getting the best price on a product? Apps like ShopSavvy and Red Laser offer a barcode scanner.
And I point my camera at the barcode itself. It automatically scans it, and I can see what the price is at other retailers.
If you find it cheaper at another store or even online, many major retailers, including Best Buy and Target, will match the price at the register.
So you have peace of mind. You know you're getting the best deal.
Yes.
Which is always important. You hate to feel like you missed out on something.
Scan your receipt, and the Return Guru app will keep it on your phone, even alerting you when a return is about to expire. And if you're tired of carrying all those store loyalty cards, there's an app for that too.
So that way you're not holding up the line, trying to dig through your purse going, where's my card?
The Keyring app lets you scan loyalty cards and keep all of them in your phone.
And if you're like me and you're prone to losing them, this is also very handy as well.
Oh yeah. Major retailers also offer their own apps, and for good reason. 60% of smartphone users are expected to use their devices to help them find the best deals. Marley Hall for CBS News, New York.
Well, for half a century, conspiracy buffs have come up with dozens of theories as to who was behind President Kennedy's assassination. Coming up, you'll hear from one of the few Americans who's seen all the evidence, why he says the investigation was bungled from the beginning.
And in the weather department, we're talking about a little bit of rain, a lot of cold, and maybe some snowfall, too. Lots to talk about coming up. The Philippines has been devastated by Typhoon Haiyan. Thousands have lost their lives, and there's been massive property damage.
The victims urgently need your help. Visit cbsboston.com for information or to make a donation.
CBS Boston cares.
The biggest, most exciting holiday light show probably won't be at your home.
But don't worry, WBZ has you covered.
It's Boston's best and brightest holiday tradition. The Faneuil Hall Tree Lighting Spectacular, hosted by Jonathan Elias and Lisa Hughes, featuring Paula Cole and Keith Lockhart. Saturday at 7:30 on WBZ and MyTV38. Presented by IDEW Local 103 in Nika.
WBZ is your home for the holidays.
With or without these lights. Oh, you'll lose both.
Today's weather on WBZ is brought to you by your New England Chevy dealers.
Meet your Chevy Equinox. Say hello to an EPA estimated 32 mpg highway.
Hello, Equinox.
Your phone is now synced to the Bluetooth.
With 2 hands.
I feel good knowing you got exactly what you wanted.
I feel good. You feel good? Is this a great day or what?
Visit your New England Chevy dealer.
just announced, get an additional $500 holiday bonus cash on the 2014 Chevy Equinox for a total cash allowance of $1,000.
Black Friday is more than just one day. At Bach Toyota, it's for 10 days. 10 days to save big with legendary low Bach Toyota prices. 10 days to drive home a brand new Toyota Camry for only $99 per month. Come on down. That's right, lease a brand new Toyota Camry, America's best-selling automobile that gets 35 miles per gallon for only $99 per month.
What's it feel like to get a great deal at Happy Honda Days? Cue the Bolton. Catch the spirit. With standard features like Bluetooth and a rear-view camera, it's the perfect season to get a great deal on the 2014 Accord, a 2013 IIHS Top Safety Pick Plus. Right now, at your Honda dealer.
Diamonds, the Jewelry Exchange has half-carat solitaires for $4.99, 1-carat $9.90, and 1-carat certified solitaires $19.90. We have thousands of GIA diamonds, guaranteed the lowest price, and set while you watch. Buy direct, the Jewelry Exchange in Sudbury.
Critics and audiences raved when Boston Ballet debuted Mikko Nissinen's brand new production of The Nutcracker. Beautiful, glamorous, and magical, the dancing shines, filled with delights, cheered the press. With exquisite sets, costumes, and choreography, see this dazzling new production of a sparkling classic. A holiday treat for the whole family. Opening November 29th at the Boston Opera House. Purchase your tickets now. Boston's #1 holiday tradition will sell out. Visit bostonballet.org today, presented by State Street Corporation.
It's Toyota's Black 10 Days. Such savings, it has commanded the attention of every other sale out there. Get a $199 a month lease on an all-wheel drive RAV4. Black 10 Days, end December 2nd. Toyota, let's go places.
The quietest dishwasher brand in the U.S. introduces a new third rack for more capacity and flexibility. See it at your local Bosch retailer.
History made today on Wall Street as the Dow closed above 16,000 for the first time ever. The NASDAQ and S&P also posted some gains.
Live pictures now of Dealey Plaza in Dallas, Texas tonight. 50 years ago tomorrow, of course, this was the scene cemented in history as the site of President John F. Kennedy's assassination.
And tomorrow that place will be packed. It was November 1963, the height of the Cold War. Some feared if those who investigated the president's murder didn't get it right and blamed the wrong party, it could mean or result in a nuclear war with the Soviets.
I spoke with a local expert about why Americans never got a complete and accurate investigation into the death of the president from Massachusetts.
The motorcade begins the 11-mile ride to the Dallas Trade Mart. It appears as though something has happened in the motorcade route. Unconfirmed reports say the president was hit in the head.
I really am doubtful that the definitive word on who killed the president will ever be resolved.
From Dallas, Texas, the flash, apparently official, President Kennedy died at 1 p.m. Central Standard Time.
Why do so many conspiracy theories persist?
Well, I think part of it is the government was overly secret about the early investigations. For every aspect of the assassination, there continues to be a controversial view on everything.
And he would know. He's seen every shred of evidence related to the killing of President John F. Kennedy. Tom Samoluk of Andover was deputy director of the Assassination Records Review Board in the 90s. The most troubling aspect of the investigation, the stakes were high, yet mistakes were made. Dealey Plaza, never cordoned off or treated like a crime scene. On-scene witnesses never interviewed.
All of these things led to a complicating effort to investigate the death of the president.
This is a scene.
Even the president's body wasn't properly handled.
The president is returned on Air Force One with Mrs. Kennedy, and the autopsy is done at the Bethesda Naval Hospital, and controversy ensues.
One example, the wording of the autopsy was edited by a politician on the Warren Commission, altering the location of one of the president's gunshot wounds. The man who made that change? Gerald Ford, who would later become the president.
You killed the president?
No, I've not been charged with that.
And then there's the assassin himself. Do you believe Lee Harvey Oswald acted alone?
I think that the story is more complicated. I have the suspicion, based on all the records that we saw, that this is a much more complicated story than Lee Harvey Oswald firing 3 shots at the president.
Oswald was never questioned. He was shot in police custody by Jack Ruby on live television. Samolek says the board's purpose wasn't to find a killer, to answer the question of who killed the president. His job was to release every document the government had kept secret for decades. But it will never be enough.
As far as an official finding, I think the assassination has slipped into history and we won't have complete closure. An injustice to the American public was done by not having a fully transparent investigation.
Now, everything the Assassination Records Review Board looked at is now available at the National Archives, and anyone can look at all those records. You can see many of them online. We'll put a link on our website at cbsboston.com.
It's a great story, and it is still gripping today. It's just fascinating, all the elements. So stay with WBZ as we remember JFK coming up. Tomorrow at 1:30, we have complete coverage of the special tribute to the fallen president live from Dallas. And it really is just one of those stories that just won't go away. People talk about it and want to know everything about it.
All of the coverage and stories this whole week, I think, has just fascinating a new generation that will want to look in.
There's a large display at the museum in D.C. right now. You can go see with the photographer who followed the president around.
Amazing.
It's always good to learn about history. All right, let's talk about our weather situation. We wish this cold weather would be history, but we're just getting into it.
Talk to me in April.
Right.
Make it history then. Take a look, actually, some interesting news today from NOAA. They released their winter forecast. Everyone issues a winter forecast these days, right? And hurricane forecast. Well, this is NOAA, the government agency that looks at weather and climate. And they're looking at drier than average weather across the southeast, the southwest, wetter than average weather across the northwest, particularly in Montana and over toward northern parts of Wyoming. Around here and Great Lakes, equal chances, which means generally expecting close to average precipitation. Precipitation includes both rain and snowfall. How about temperature? What are they expecting there? Colder than average temperatures across the northern tier states, warmer than average across much of Texas, moving over toward the Gulf Coast, and yes, a little bit above average temperatures for parts of New England. Keep in mind, when you look at these outlooks, when they look at the whole season, which for winter is December, January, and February, doesn't mean it's going to be cold every day, doesn't mean it's going to be warm every day. This is just what they predict, and there's really no El Nino or La Nina. It's ENSO neutral for this upcoming winter. Now, we're going to have our own prediction on the winter coming up in just a little bit. It's our Eye on Weather special winter preview. This airs next Saturday night, November 30th at 7:30. It's Thanksgiving weekend. Huddle around with your family, friends. Check it out, and we'll let you know what's going on. We'll also be talking about some new technology in the roads. Go out with the Coast Guard. Should be a good night of television for us, so I hope you join. Meanwhile, what are we watching for tonight? Rain starting to move in from the west around the Ohio Valley, the Great Lakes, just starting to move into New York around the Finger Lakes region. A lot of this not reaching the ground just yet, so we'll just deal with the clouds for much of tonight. But we'll also be watching that rain for tomorrow morning, so that's when it really starts to reach the ground. Around 7, 8 a.m., the light rainfall breaking out southern New Hampshire, back across Massachusetts and Connecticut. I think this batch is going to stay with us till the early afternoon, and then it will start to move out to sea. So most of that is for commute time and lunchtime tomorrow. Tonight it's dry, maybe late, couple drops or flakes, and temperatures back in the 30s. I think just warm enough where we don't worry about icy precipitation. Tomorrow morning, it's going to be a tough one to get out of bed. The commute could be a little bit slower, so plan ahead for that. Midday lunch, still watching some of that rainfall, and as we head toward the evening, it should end. So if you have Friday night plans, just cloudy, cool, and temperatures in the 40s. We look toward the weekend, and we've got a little break in the action on Saturday. Great news if you want to get outside. Upper 40s, breezy conditions, but the big Arctic front we've been talking about, that's Saturday night. Look at the high temperature on Sunday. If we stay below freezing, that would be the first time since the day after the blizzard back in February. It's been a long time since it's been that cold. And you want to wear your Patriot Snuggie out to Gillette because it will be frigid in the stands. Wind chill values 5 to 15 for that game on Sunday night. Also watching a potential storm, which is going to make a pit stop toward the Gulf as we head toward the early part of next week. Still a lot of question marks about the track as this moves off to the north and east. Nothing is written in stone yet. It's just one we're watching, but it's at a high impact time, Wednesday into Thursday. Of course, the big travel day and Thanksgiving. Really, I would be lying to you if I told you I knew exactly what was going to happen right now. This is one we're just going to have to watch carefully, but the cold will stick around.
7 days away. We'll give you time.
We've got time. No hysteria yet.
Eric, thank you very much. Well, it was the event that had everyone talking. The world enjoyed that kid fulfilling his dream. The dreams don't come cheap. Last week, 5-year-old Miles Scott and his family traveled to San Francisco, where Miles turned into Bat-Kid for the day, fighting bad guys like the Riddler and saving the damsel in distress. The city says the event did cost about $105,000 to put on, so officials do hope private donations will help cover the cost. Worth every penny.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, he was trying to set a world record, but failed in spectacular fashion.
Yeah, coming up after the break, the wild crash that was caught on tape and how the driver is doing tonight. Now let's check back with Jack and Lucy to see what's coming up next at 6.
All right, Jonathan and Paula, thank you. Well, it's the clear favorite in the race to put a casino near Boston.
But did the odds just get longer for Steve Wynn's plan in Everett, the investor in the project whose criminal past could be a problem?
And breaking news, more on a teenager indicted in the murder of a high school teacher. The new terrible information just released about this crime.
You here for the interview?
Yeah.
Is that?
It is.
Naomi, I take it. I'm Tracy. Your resume is fantastic.
With authentic, expertly crafted roasts and legendary brews, 8 o'clock is the coffee for those who put coffee first.
Now, in less time than you ever imagined, you can breathe new life into your basement and add much-needed living space to your home with the Owens Corning Basement Finishing System. Did you know installing drywall can take months? But our system is installed in about 2 weeks with virtually no mess. So in practically no time, you'll not only finish your basement, you'll transform your home. Call 1-800-BASEMENT now for a free video and design consultation. It's a fact. Nobody knows basements better than Owens Corning.
Diamonds, the jewelry exchange has half-carat solitaires for $4.99, 1 carat $9.90, and 1 carat certified solitaires $19.90. We have thousands of GIA diamonds guaranteed the lowest price and set while you watch. Buy direct, the jewelry exchange in Sudbury.
A wet basement can be a homeowner's worst nightmare. CrackX, industry leader in foundation crack repair, solves concrete problems permanently and affordably. Call us for a free estimate or visit us at crackx.com. CrackX, 25 years of stopping leaks, guaranteed.
It's Toyota's Black 10 Days. Such incredible savings, it has commanded the attention of every other sale and offer out there. 10 days of lowest ever 0 for 60 plus $750 bonus cash on Camry. Or the lowest $159 a month lease on Camry. Or on Prius C Hybrid. Toyota's Black 10 Days. It's the King Daddy event of them all. Ends December 2nd. Toyota. Let's go places.
Well, tonight it's a wild crash caught on tape.
Unbelievable. The driver is a land speed racer who was trying to set a world record. Didn't go so well. 55-year-old Brian Gillespie was driving in the Arizona desert. He hit 209 miles an hour when this Honda of his flipped at least a dozen times. And then it nosedived straight into the ground and broke apart. The car finally came to a stop, as you can see here, on its roof. Gillespie had to be cut out of the car. He suffered a concussion, a collapsed lung, and a whole lot of bruising, but he will recover. He says, and this may be a blessing, he has no memory of this crash.
Probably a good thing. Well, we still have much more news straight ahead.
That's going to do it for us at 5 o'clock, but the news at 6 starts now.
Heartbreak and anger. The courtroom mistake that led to an emotional outburst for the family of a man killed in a hit and run.
Out of prison after more than a decade, Kennedy cousin Michael Skakel's release, and the mother forced to fight for justice nearly 40 years after her daughter's murder.
'Tis the season to shop till you drop, but should that be allowed on Thanksgiving Day? Retailers and their customers sound off.
It's sunny and cool today, but rain is on the way in, plus a big cold for this upcoming weekend. We'll take a look at the time.
Live from our studios in Boston, WBZ News at 6 starts right now.
Breaking news, a teenager now formally charged with killing his teacher in Danvers, and the disturbing new information tonight about this attack. That murder suspect is a 14-year-old boy. He was one of the teacher's students. I'm Lisa Hughes.
I'm Jack Williams. Prosecutors say that Colleen Ritzer was raped before she was murdered inside of Danvers High School. Lauren Lamanchak joins us now with the very latest. Lauren?
And Jack, prosecutors say Philip Chisholm robbed and raped the young teacher before killing her. Ritzer's body was found in the woods behind Danvers High School nearly 1 month ago. Prosecutors say she was dragged there after being murdered inside a bathroom at Danvers High School. According to this new indictment, Chisholm used a box cutter to rob Ritzer of her credit cards, her iPhone, and her underwear. The medical examiner is still trying to figure out the exact cause of death, but they confirm it was a murder. Prosecutors also do not have any more information on the motive. And Colleen Ritzer's family issued a statement saying they're devastated by the horrific circumstances of this murder. Though Philip Chisholm is just 14 years old, he's going to be tried as an adult on that murder charge. Lauren Lamanchak, WBZ News.
Well, Chisholm will have to face a judge on the new charges, and a court date has not been set for that.
As a quick update on some rain headed our way, it'll be here for tomorrow morning's commute. You see it falling back toward Cleveland and Detroit this evening. It'll be stretching over toward our neck of the woods by the time we head toward late tonight and early tomorrow. So clouds thickening up. Coldest part of the night is the first half of the night. As we head toward the midnight hour and beyond, we'll actually start to warm up just a little bit, relatively speaking. I think any of these showers that move in will be of the rain and a variety. So tomorrow morning it's wet, and then our attention turns to the cold. Big plunge of cold air this evening. We're down through Oklahoma and Texas. That's headed in our direction. We've got the timing for that coming up shortly. Jack, Lisa, over to you.
Eric, thank you. The family of a man killed in a hit and run waited more than a month to see the suspect in court. That finally happened today. But instead of getting any satisfaction, they left even angrier. Okay, that's how they reacted when the attorney for the teenage suspect accidentally called the young man their father's name, Michael Dutra. Christina Hager is live in Middleborough for us tonight. And Christina, the details in this case just get more disturbing.
And Lisa, for more than a month now, Michael Dutra's friends and relatives have had to wonder as they drive by the flowers on the side of this Middleborough road, who killed him as he rode his bike here? Well, today, some answers.
Now, Sesame, be seated.
It was a tough court appearance for the victim's daughters who studied 18-year-old Eric Megna's face.
He didn't look upset, we were just hoping for a little bit of remorse for our dad. And
prosecutors say Megna hit 58-year-old Michael Dutra with his Jeep, killing him October 11th. The prosecutor outlined a long trail of evidence leading to his Wednesday arrest. Today, while his attorney argued the $10,000 cash bail is unnecessary, a slip-up. He mistakenly called the suspect by the victim's name.
I have no doubt Mr. Dutra will be here every step of the way.
An outburst from Dutra's family.
No, that's wrong.
The judge cleared the court.
Respect the fact that this is a courtroom. As we know, my dad won't be here. What he meant to say is that Mr. Megna would be. And that was hard to hear. That was a hard slip to take. Yeah.
All that happened after the prosecutor told how Megna found a picture of deer roadkill on this website and texted it to his mother, telling her he hid it near their New Hampshire vacation home. Court documents show her husband had emailed her with suspicions about their son 3 weeks ago. I know you will be mad, but the similarities of the accident and his vehicle are profound. I have been trying to convince myself it wasn't him and he won't have to deal with any of this. Megna and his mother left court having posted bail with nothing to say. Now, also in these court documents, something police said they overheard when they went to visit the suspect's father. They said they heard a loud male voice coming from inside his apartment saying, just do what the attorney said and keep your mouth shut. Quote, cops are lazy and the longer it goes by, they will lose interest. And that was 3 weeks before this arrest. In Middleborough, Christina Hager, WBZ News. Jack, back to you.
All right, Christina, thank you. Now at 6 o'clock, Michael Skakel's going free after 11 years in prison. The latest chapter in the 38-year-old mystery of who killed Martha Moxley. Well, that's an incredible victory for the Kennedy family cousin, who is now going to get a new trial. As Ken McLeod shows us, though, despite this development, Martha Moxley's mother is not giving up hope.
An elderly mother left court this afternoon struggling with the knowledge that the man she believes killed her daughter is now free.
I guess we knew that the day would come, and so I wasn't, you know, I wasn't completely destroyed, but I wish it hadn't happened.
But when Michael Skakel came to court for a bail hearing today, the only real question was how much, and the answer was $1.2 million. At this point, Skakel has served 11 years of a 20-to-life sentence and already been denied parole once. But things turned dramatically when a judge tossed out his conviction in the 1975 murder of Martha Moxley. She and Skakel were 15-year-old neighbors in wealthy Greenwich, Connecticut, when she was bludgeoned in her own yard with a Skakel family golf club. That judge concluded Skakel's trial lawyer was unconstitutionally weak, tainting the outcome. But Moxley's brother doesn't buy it.
Well, he was convicted by a jury of his peers. So it was all of these things that came up.
Prosecutors are seeking to have Skakel's conviction reinstated. But in the meantime, the Kennedy cousin quickly made his hefty bail today and left court a free man with a GPS bracelet and his new attorney proclaiming his innocence.
And hopefully we are at the first step of righting that wrong and making sure that an innocent man now goes free.
Skakel said nothing as he beelined for a waiting car. But for the Moxley family, the waiting now begins again. In Stamford, Connecticut, Ken McLeod, WBZ News.
New at 6, could almost all the big names in gambling be shut out of Massachusetts? Caesars Palace was dropped from the Suffolk Downs plan. Voters rejected proposals from Foxwoods and Mohegan Sun. Now Wynn Resorts is in the spotlight. As chief correspondent Joe Shortsleeve shows us, there are questions about the land deal surrounding the proposal for Everett.
In general, we're concerned about all the aspects of this, who's involved.
Yes, state gaming investigators want to know who's involved. The Boston Globe is reporting they're asking questions about this man, Charles Lightbody, a revered man with an extensive criminal record, including a 2006 arrest for stealing people's identities. According to the paper, Lightbody at one point was a part owner of the 30-acre parcel Wynn Resorts will purchase if it's awarded the sole casino license in eastern Massachusetts. However, the Globe reported Lightbody's attorney said the Revere man was no longer part of that ownership group. So for now, the chairman of the state's gaming commission says no problem for Wynn.
Why would you say no? Just having read the newspaper report, and I think by the newspaper report, it didn't have anything to do with Wynn. This is nothing Wynn knew about.
However, the paper reported that Wynn Resorts is rewriting the sales agreement. We tried to talk to Charles Lightbody today, but no one answered the door at two of his addresses in Revere. We also tried to talk to the current real owners of the Everett property, but their offices in Winthrop were dark today. Everett City Councilman Mike McLaughlin says this development will not hurt Wynn Resorts' plans.
I don't believe he has any involvement with this project whatsoever, and I think that the State Gaming Commission, again, I have full confidence, will do what they feel is necessary to make sure that casino gambling in Massachusetts is successful.
So will Wynn Resorts get a green light for a casino license? The full commission will issue its suitability report by mid-December. In Everett, Joe Shortsleeve, WBZ News.
And coming up here on WBZ News, shopping on Thanksgiving. You can do it almost anywhere but here. So do Massachusetts retailers and consumers want that to change?
Well, back on the field in the snow, ready for the cold. Wes Welker hoping to make the Patriots sorry they let him go. We'll hear from him in sports.
That ain't cold. Wait until you see cold. It's in the forecast for Sunday and into Monday. We'll have the time before it. We come back.
And as we go to break, a look at the Faneuil Hall Christmas tree ready for its close-up. Be sure to join us Saturday night for the tree lighting special right here on WBZ at 7:30.
We paid for this much new carpet.
But we got all this.
Get 60% off carpet at Empire today. Schedule at EmpireToday.com or call
800-588-2300 Empire.
today.
You can make a difference at the Subaru Share the Love event. Buy a brand new Subaru Forester, Motor Trend's 2014 Sport Utility of the Year, and was awarded Top Safety Pick Plus by the Insurance Institute for Highway Safety. Share the love and drive home a brand new Subaru Forester for only $21,995. Buy a brand new Forester and Subaru will donate $250 to your choice of 5 charities.
Sports Final just got bigger.
Ultimately, that's what's most important, winning the ball game.
Roosevelt Colvin joins Sports Final Sundays at 11:35 only on WBZ. Rosie's Recap is brought to you by the UPS Store. We love small business. We love logistics.
Made with the highest quality ingredients and signature handmade touches. You can be guaranteed the freshest tasting apples make it from the orchard to your table when you choose the Marie Callender's apple pie, topped with Ready-Whip. Learn more at supermarketguru.com.
Tell her how your love has grown with 1/3 carat journey pendants for $99. The Jewelry Exchange imports and produces diamonds direct and manufactures jewelry using the latest technology. Compare Tiffany's 1/4 carat diamond 18 carat band for $2,700 with the Jewelry Exchanges for $539. 14 carat is $349, 10 carat $199. 3-stone tennis bracelets are $299 and 1 carat studs are $599. Save up to 80% by buying diamond and factory direct. The Jewelry Exchange in Sudbury.
Together we will stand. Every boy, girl, woman, and man. Come on now, people. Come on now, people. Let's work together. Come on, let's work together.
Black Friday is more than just one day. At Bach Toyota, it's for 10 days. 10 days to save big with legendary low Bach Toyota prices. 10 days to drive home a brand new Toyota Corolla for only $79 per month.
Come on, Dad.
That's right, lease a brand new Toyota Corolla, the best-selling compact car in America that gets 34 miles per gallon for just $79 per month.
We paid for this much new flooring.
But we got all of this. Get 60% off flooring at Empire Today. Schedule at EmpireToday.com or call
800-588-2300 Empire.
Today.
Some breaking news just coming in from Falmouth, Maine, where a small plane has made an emergency landing on a highway. Take a look at the pictures that people have been taking as they drive home from work. This plane made the landing on I-295 southbound. Now, just to help orient you, Falmouth is near Portland, and you can see it in these pictures. Traffic now backed up for miles. We're making some calls right now. We want to find out if anyone in that plane or on the ground was hurt. As we get new information, we'll definitely pass it along.
Hey, the big retailers are offering some tempting deals to try to get us to shop on Thanksgiving Day. As an example, Walmart. Well, they're offering up to a 32-inch television for $98. And Target, well, they're cutting off some money too, so you can get the Nook HD tablet, $50 off that price. Meanwhile, Kmart, well, they're selling that iLive Bluetooth headphones for only $25. But you can't get any of these deals at the store if you live and shop here in Massachusetts. As John Keller shows us, some retailers and customers want that to change.
You can't go to a party and expect to get cake if you show up to the party late. So.
A spokesman for Macy's, perhaps the retailer most closely connected with the holiday, explaining why they're opening at 8 on Thanksgiving night everywhere the law allows.
Our competition has started to do this in the past few years, plus we're competing with the internet as well, and we would not be doing this if we did not see a customer response that's favorable.
If it's voluntary to open, voluntary to work, and voluntary to shop, is there really something wrong with that?
But not everyone at this local retailer's event agrees.
As a mother of 3 young children, it certainly, I make the decision as a business owner that I say we're not open because I want to spend that time with my family. And I certainly don't want to burden other people. It's more important than ever that we need families to be together.
And mixed feelings prevail as well here in Boston's downtown crossing, where holiday shopping is already in full swing.
As long as there's some good sales, then maybe I'll go out there too.
I think that we should allow Thanksgiving shopping. I personally would never shop on Thanksgiving because I think it's a family time.
We don't connect anymore. It's just like how many... We're shopping in September for Christmas. We're shopping in January for T-shirts. We're just all over the place, you know. We're just, you know, we need to live in the now.
Now, Massachusetts, Maine, Rhode Island, and Bergen County, New Jersey, of all places, are the only spots left that ban Thanksgiving Day retail sales. But here in Massachusetts, there are already 55 exceptions to that rule on the books, including car washes, florists, and, of course, liquor stores. And while the retailers group says blue law repeal isn't a priority, you've got to wonder if we're at the edge of a very slippery slope. Jack and Lisa, back to you.
Tempting deals, but not for us, I guess, John. Thank you so much. Meanwhile, we got some big changes coming up in the weather, don't we?
Yeah, let's turn to Eric Fisher now. And Eric, a little bit of everything in this forecast except warmth.
Yeah, that's the one thing that we can't do. We have to buy a plane ticket down to South Florida for a little bit of warmth. We're going to be in the cold for a while. To have a cool Friday as we end out the week, it's going to be one of those tough mornings to get out of bed. The coldest air so far this season arrives by the time we wake up on Sunday morning. Another one that'll be tough to get out of bed. And then we're watching that Thanksgiving storm. Something will be lurking on the coast. The question is, does it come up the coast or out the coast? We have a lot of these conversations this time of year. And here and now, first thing on our radar is the rain that's starting to reach its way into western New York, western PA. It's going to be running into very dry air here at home. Dew points are still in the teens to 20s. So as it tries to move in, it falls and it evaporates before it hits the surface. It won't be till much later tonight that we start to get some of those first sprinkles to hit. A couple of wet snowflakes can't be ruled out either, especially in the higher elevations, Worcester Hills, not in the Monadnock region. Low temperatures are generally between now and midnight. As we head past midnight, the clouds thicken, winds move up out of the south, we'll actually bump up a couple degrees. And I think everything that falls won't be ice, it will be rain. That's a good thing for tomorrow morning, but it will be a slower commute. Batches of light to moderate rainfall moving across. You see 9 a.m. around the Pike on the 93 corridor expressway. It's going to be a slower go than usual. At lunchtime, the rain is starting to move out, still watching over the Cape and the islands. By the time we get toward tomorrow evening, we should be dry. So we start with the 30s. It's a chilly rain. We're in the low 40s at lunch. Still the showers hanging on. Extra cup of coffee in case stay awake in these darker days. And as we head toward the evening, cloudy in the mid-40s. It should be a dry Friday night. We've got plans to go out to eat out on the town. Saturday, not bad, upper 40s, breezy, and these showers will be gone. But it's Saturday night that we get that Arctic front to pass. And so Sunday's high temperature, 30. I think a lot of towns will stay in the 20s. A gusty wind will make it feel more like the single digits. That's a serious cold. That's midwinter cold, something you expect in the middle of January. In terms of our tree lighting, I think the front moves in just after the tree lighting. We plan it that way. Low 30s, it'll be breezy, it'll be chilly, but the type of weather that gets you in the holiday spirit. So after the cold, we watch the storm. And the storm will be stopping by the Gulf of Mexico, picks up a lot of moisture here, and then it starts to work its way up the coast. Two main model camps with this. One, the European, you hear us talk about that, phases that southern stream of the jet with the northern stream, gives us a more significant storm that would be mostly rain. The GFS right now is out to sea. We're watching it. I would be lying if I said I knew for sure it was going to happen. It's a long way out, but know that something is lurking, so we'll be talking about this a lot over the next few days. Otherwise, the cold is the story. Snow showers around on Sunday. It'll be frigid at Gillette, a very cold Monday, and a chilly Tuesday with a chance of snow showers. So winter, it is here. Jack, Lisa, over to you.
Eric, thank you. And we don't know exactly who's going to be on the field at Gillette.
Yeah, I'm curious if Welker's going to play. You know he'd like to.
Oh, he wants to. There's no question about that. Everybody wants him to. Both teams want him to. How's that for? I think so. They want to see him. They want to stop him. All right, if there's one game you circle on your calendar, it's this one. Tom Brady versus Peyton Manning, and the fact that Wes Welker left Brady to play with Manning. And now he's coming back to play on Sunday night. We hope. Last Sunday, Welker suffered a concussion, putting his status for Sunday night up in the air. But there he was at the team's snowy practice facility in Inglewood, Colorado, taking part on a limited basis. League policy says he can't practice in full until tomorrow, but he certainly looked pretty good out there. And afterwards, he addressed the media.
I feel fine. So no, I'm just preparing myself and get ready, and hopefully just get cleared for Sunday. Definitely excited. It's a big game, big matchup, great environment, everything else, and really look forward to it.
Well, if he plays, number 83 will certainly be the center of attention on Sunday night, but as Levin Reed tells us, his replacement will also share the spotlight.
The possibility of Wes Welker coming to town means one big thing. The comparisons between he and Danny Amendola are at a premium. This doesn't surprise Danny. He was signed by New England in favor of Wes.
Wes and I have been friends for a long time. He knows this is a business first and foremost. Unfortunately, we all love to play football, and we share that commonality.
But at the same time, Amendola is doing his best to deflect most of the Wes talk.
Like I said, I've been watching Wes for 10, 12 years. It's old news, so he's a great player. It's bottom line. We're going to have to do a good job stopping him.
The word amongst the defensive backs this week is play it honest. Reading Peyton Manning could get you in trouble. Sticking with your assignment is going to be the key.
Payton's in that class of the quarterbacks in this league that you have to be on point because he knows defense just as well as, or not better than some of the guys playing defense.
Here's an insider's note. Gene Steratore is going to be the lead official in Sunday night's game. If you're looking for his tendencies, he doesn't throw a lot of flags, and he explains all his penalties. I don't think that's a coincidence. At Gillette Stadium, I'm Levin Reed, WBZ Sports.
All right, Levin. Make sure to check out Patriots All Access tomorrow night at 7 here at WBZ, where you'll see Bill Belichick break down the Broncos' high-flying offense using the illustrator. That's good stuff. And then, of course, on Sunday morning, well, Patriots game day at 11:30. Then immediately after the game, tune right here to WBZ for the fifth-quarter post-game show. When the Bruins are back on the ice tonight, they take on the St. Louis Blues at the Garden. Bobby Orr will be on hand to drop the first puck as the team continues to celebrate its 90th anniversary. And finally, to San Juan for the Puerto Rico tip-off, where Northeastern was taking on Georgetown. Huskies trailed by as many as 14 in the second half before roaring back. T-Bucket coming up. TJ Williams with the steal. Back the other way, and Fisher's putting Northeastern up 4, and they go on to win it. 63-56 to improve to 2-2 on the year. So I think, yeah, if you go back to Foxborough for a second, I think the players want to see Wes Welker on the field, and they want to stop him.
Why'd we ever let him go? But that's a story for another time.
It is.
Hey, the CBS Evening News coming up next at 6:30.
And Scott Pelley joins us live from New York with a preview. Scott?
Lisa, Jack, great to be with you in Boston. We're going to start the broadcast tonight with Anthony Mason's report on the historic rise in the stock market. The question is any of this irrational, or are there real fundamentals here that indicate that stocks will continue to go higher? Anthony's analysis right at the top of the broadcast on the CBS Evening News in about 10 minutes.
Scott, thank you. Still to come, grading our teachers. Some good news from Massachusetts classrooms.
The Philippines has been devastated by Typhoon Haiyan. Thousands have lost their lives, and there's been massive property damage.
The victims urgently need your help. Visit cbsboston.com for information or to make a donation.
CBS Boston cares.
Sherlock's genius is undeniable. Holmes closes cases faster than anyone I've ever seen. But CBS tonight, he'll meet a monster.
You think he's a serial killer?
You've repeatedly abducted, raped, and murdered young women. But what if the truth was much, much worse? Who could be unstoppable?
I like your place.
Walls are a bit thin.
They'd never hold back our blood-curdling screams, but we call it home.
Discover a new elementary. CBS tonight, 10/9 Central. It's Toyota's Black 10 Days. Such incredible savings. It has commanded the attention of every other sale and offer out there. 10 days of an unprecedented $179 a month lease on an all-wheel drive Venza. Or get 0 for $60 on any all-wheel drive Venza. Or an all-wheel drive Highlander. Toyota's Black 10 Days. It's the King Daddy event of them all. Ends December 2nd. Toyota. Let's go places.
Unwrap the gift of Cirque Dreams holidays and fill your season with spectacle, imagination, and fantasy. Because there's no place like Cirque Dreams for the holidays.
At the Hanover Theater in Worcester, November 22nd through the 24th.
Winter is coming, and the WBZ AccuWeather team is helping you prepare. From the snow forecast to road safety technology, join us for our WBZ Eye on Weather Special Winter Preview, November 30th at 7:30 on WBZ, presented by Raytheon.
Put value in, take gimmicks out, you'll get a price to shout about. We love Bob's Value, there's no doubt. Let's all stand up and sing.
Put the value in, take the gimmicks out. Quality, choice, and value, that's what Bob's is all about.
48-inch round glass table and 4 chairs, only $4.99. Not just any chairs, they're bonded leather with Bob-O-Pedic memory foam seat cushions in your choice of 4 colors. Get 4 of a kind or mix and match. Still only $4.99.
It's open enrollment time at the Massachusetts Health Connector.
If you already have a plan through the Health Connector, this year you need to reapply.
It's time to go to the website to compare health plans from leading insurance companies side by side. You'll find new plans,
new savings and benefits,
like dental coverage from leading carriers. Now that's something to smile about.
Visit mahealthconnector.org to reapply.
Or enroll for the first time. Open the door to benefits and savings waiting for you at the Health Connector.
Enroll now.
leaving BMW, Mercedes, and Lexus for Audi than ever before. The holidays won't last, and neither will the exceptional values at the Season of Audi sales event.
Visit AudiBurlington.com.
In a bit of a turnabout, the first report cards are in for Massachusetts teachers. The Department of Education released results from its new evaluation system. Statewide, more than 7% of teachers hit the exemplary mark, the highest rating. More than 85% rated proficient. 7% needed improvement. By the way, less than 1% were rated unsatisfactory. Administrators say this new system is more fair, but the Boston Teachers Union says the grades are biased against minority teachers and men.
Baseball guru Peter Gammons is apologizing for comparing Alex Rodriguez to the Boston Marathon Bombers. During a radio interview, Gammons was talking about Rodriguez storming out of his hearing with Major League Baseball, and Gammons said, quote, "I've had people with the Yankees say this to me. He wants to blow up the world. He's like the Marathon Bombers." Well, Gammons later apologized more than once, by the way, on Twitter, calling it a stupidly worded comparison. Coming up, what happened to Shane Victorino's and David Ortiz's beards? Swept up? Thrown away? Nope. The bizarre souvenir you can buy next.
Closed captioning is brought to you by Harvey. Take advantage of new lower prices and a $200 rebate from Harvey. Visit HarveyBP.com.
They're setting up shop in town after town, in quiet plazas, on suburban streets.
And they're operating in plain sight, absolutely.
With names like Bodyworks or Reflexology.
They are doing a big business.
But the IT found something else happening inside.
It sickens me.
The alarming secret and a growing problem for local police. Tonight on WBZ News at 11.
It's Happy Honda Days, our biggest sales event of the year. At Bach Honda on the Auto Mile, Route 1 in Norwood, and at Bach Honda West on Littleton Road in Westford, Mass. Drive home a brand new Honda Civic for just $48 per month.
Come on down.
That's right, lease a brand new Civic for just $48 per month. 2 great Bach Honda locations, 1 legendary low Bach Honda price.
Never really concerning me. I said, this is who I am, and you do the best with what you got. There's obstacles in life, there's obstacles on this course. It's how you deal with them and how you're able to overcome that defines a person.
Save up to 80%. 18-karat bands that sell elsewhere for $2,700 are $539. 2-karat 3-stone rings and studs are $29.90, and 1-karat studs are $5.99. Buy diamond and factory direct, the Jewelry Exchange in Sudbury.
Welcome to Eastern Bank. How can I help you, Mr. Wilford?
I'd like to make a deposit, please.
Great. What do you have today?
Just a few things. She's a princess.
This year, Eastern Bank is teaming up with Toys for Tots.
Oh, big deposit today.
So please, bring a new, unwrapped toy to any Eastern Bank branch, and let's all make the holidays a bit brighter for families who need it most.
I Love Lucy, live on stage. Come be a part of a live studio audience and witness firsthand the side-splitting antics of America's favorite foursome, live and in color for the very first time. TV Guide calls it the most entertaining production seen in years. Don't miss Lucy, Ricky, Fred, Ethel, and the hilarious cast of I Love Lucy live on stage.
December 3rd through 22nd at the City Emerson Colonial Theater. Tickets at LexusBroadwayInBoston.com. It's Toyota's Black 10 Days. Such savings that has commanded the attention of every other sale out there. Get a $199 a month lease on an all-wheel drive RAV4. Black 10 Days end December 2nd. Toyota, let's go places.
The military keeps firing tear gas on the crowds, but these people just march right back again.
A world of original reporting on the CBS Evening News with Scott Pelley.
Coming up tonight here on WBZ News at 11, a growing problem in some of Boston's nicer suburbs, prostitution. The I-Team shows us where it's happening and how these operations are staying under the radar tonight at 11. Well, this would certainly be a conversation piece for Red Sox fans.
Yeah, Gillette is now auctioning off 2 beard ball trophies. You heard me right. They're made from the hair that was shaved off the faces of David Ortiz and Shane Victorino after the World Series win. Well, all the money goes to charity, but yuck. By the way, at last check, Ortiz was going for $1,300, Victorino over $900.
Okay, so from the beard ball to little teeny snowballs at some point in our forecast, maybe?
Maybe, yes. I'm sorry, I can't even concentrate
It's
after
hard.
that. Some snow showers by Sunday. Tomorrow it's just rain that we're dealing with. So a wet commute, a little bit slower, plan ahead.
Thank you, Rick.
Hey, honey, guess what I just got?
For the living room.
Hey, have a great night.
We'll see you later.